Well, we are back at my favorite place on earth, yes, the Hollywood Hills, and we're going to take a peek at my new listing, which I am calling The Castle in the Hills. Behind me is 2882 Belden Drive, which was originally built and designed by W.L. Schmolle, who is a famed architect of the classic era of Hollywood in the Hollywood Hills. He's designed some of the most spectacular homes, many of which are still standing. This glorious house is a massive 4,275 square feet, and I'm going to be taking you through some of my favorite moments with this property, from the beautiful and glorious vaulted ceilings in the entryway. We have a balcony that overlooks the whole of LA, and ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going up into the turret of the castle in the hills to discover the meditation room. So without further ado, why don't you join me and come through this absolutely enchanting door and find out the secrets of 2882 Belden Drive with me. So the thing that immediately hits me with this house is this epic living room. We have 14-foot ceilings and this motif that almost feels like a cathedral. In the hills, it's hard to find space that is as wide as this. A lot of the houses are very stacked, whereas this one has some width and girth to this original level. We have a glorious wood-burning fireplace, which I know that many stories have been told around over the decades of its existence, and one can't help but be drawn to the outside, because this takes us to the most incredible view all the way across the canyon. I can see all the way to Long Beach. I can peek through Beechwood Canyon to see the madness of the city below, whilst I enjoy the serenity of the hills. Additionally, on this balcony, we have this wonderful outdoor dining, and then we have a fireplace, another place that I know stories have been told over the years. And then to finish this space off, I have a complete north to south view, so I can peer up to the tippy top of Beechwood Canyon, which in my opinion is one of the most beautiful areas of Los Angeles. All right, let me show you some of the inside of the home. So as I exit the oversized patio, it seamlessly transitions back into the formal dining room. Now, those of you who know me, you know I love a formal dining room. This one is very well proportioned. You can easily fit 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm sure there's been many more in this room. And I love the formality of it. I also love that I stare out of the original casement window to nothing but green. Below us is a whole separate lot that also comes with this property, which I'm going to cover in a couple of minutes. As I transition out of the dining room, it brings me into the kitchen. Now, homes of this era often had really small kitchens, especially the houses that were built in the 20s and 30s, but this is super well proportioned. This was a very glamorous house when it was built, and it's a very glamorous house now. The expense of building the rotunda and the turret made this a home of prestige when this property was originally built in 1948. Again, I get to look out of my casement window and enjoy the beautiful California oak trees. And I really don't have a sense of being in the middle of a city that, give or take with the surrounding areas, adds up to almost 20 million people. There's a really beautiful moment right here, which is, this used to be where the milkman left the milk. And my lovely sellers have a couple of props here that are old-fashioned milk bottles. There's even a little analog timer, no iPhone here. A little analog timer of when he's going to leave the milk and if you want butter and other things, which is a really adorable touch. Okay, let me take you out into one of the special areas of this property. With the sale of 2882 Belden, we also have an additional lot. This lot is big enough to build another house on it if you wanted. And the lot starts approximately here, up in the hills. When houses are of this age, it's difficult to know where the exact boundaries are unless you use a surveyor. This is one of my favorite moments outside because I'm in the shade. I'm sitting in my little private alfresco dining area underneath this glorious bougainvillea. And then as I leave the outdoor dining, I'm immediately met with another beautiful moment, which is this fabulous swing, which is underneath this almost 200-year-old oak tree, which has been here well before me, Hollywood, the movies, everything. And some beautiful wind chimes to boot. Okay, let me show you some of the secret areas of the garden. So just a few steps from the house, we are met with a tremendous amount of flora. We have some homegrown citrus right here, some beautiful limes. We have chilies, we have jasmine, we have a grapevine. And then as I leave the enchanted garden, I'm gonna go find another space, which is through this beautiful white bougainvillea archway, which then leads me to the lower terraces, where there is even more going on. As I arrive at the lower terrace, there is a whole other plethora of interesting flora to explore. We have a beautiful fig tree right here. And then we have California native plants, which lead me to one of my favorite spots in the whole property, which is this little Zen moment right here, nestled in amongst the trees and the quiet, knowing that the Hollywood sign is literally at the brow of that hill. It's a very, very special moment. So as I return back in from the fabulous multi-level gardens, I want to show you something from an era gone by. Now, I'm old enough to remember these things. The guy holding the camera is not. I remember when phones used to be plugged in the wall, and you would have a phone room like this in posh houses, not in regular houses, but in posh houses they would have a privacy room so one can make very special calls to the director and the head of the studio about what time to be on set in the following morning. And there's some great artwork in here, and of course it doubles as a fabulous closet as well. And then last but not least, I want to take you up into a space that I'm not actually showing the general public because it's super private and it's very romantic, and it is, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is until we get there. Why don't you come with me, because I'm going to take you into a really private part of the house. As we go there, one of Cindy's favorite spots, a bar. I say that with love, Cindy. This is a great place to have cocktails, watch the sun go down, let the steam out of the day. And then right next to us, it looks like a little closet. But this is a secret door to the space that I was talking about. All right, let's go, Manny. So we have to climb up what's almost like a ship's ladder. It brings me into the crown of the rotunda, which I can easily stand up in. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is a meditation room. How beautiful is this? I have the Tibetan flags around the rim, the perimeter of the meditation turret. And I can sit down here, I can pray, I can kneel, I can just chill out. I can do whatever I want and gaze across the Hollywood Hills and just take a moment to myself. This is one of the most special moments of the entire property, and I'm so glad that I got to share it with you in the video, because I'm not showing it to the public. So as with many houses in the Hollywood Hills, they are multi-leveled. And what some people do, many of my clients have done over the years, is convert some of the areas into either rentable spaces, guest houses, and this home is no exception. At the lowest level here, we have a full apartment which could be rented out, short-term, long-term, whatever the owner prefers, or it could be an office. And it comes with a fabulous fire engine red O'Keefe Merritt, and it is a completely self-contained unit that takes us across the entire width of the home. The bedroom quarters are here, which I'm going to not show you because that's private, and then it brings us out to the south side of this magnificent property. So thank you so much for coming with me on this super private tour of the castle in the hills. You can see it in all its glory behind me with the turret and everything. This is 2882 Belden Drive in the glorious Beechwood Canyon at the top of the Hollywood Hills. And so until next time, this is Pete Lorimer saying, I'll see you later. Toodaloo.